Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I want to talk about how I told my mom I wasn't going to become a medical doctor. So today's video is very personal, very exciting, but also very informative because I know there's a lot of people who are graduating college the next semester or maybe have went to college, they got a degree that they loved or they didn't get a degree that they loved. Whatever the reason is, they may be in a different field of study, they may be doing something else with their lives. I get asked the same questions over and over again. So one of the questions that I'm always asked is, what are you doing here? And that typically means, hey, you have all these credentials, you have all this experience. Why would you work the job that you work? Or why would you do what you do? That's the number one question that I'm always asked. Number two would be, why not be a doctor, right? Doctors make a lot of money. In fact, they're making upwards of 200,000 now a year. Now, of course, that's before taxes, and so that's a great question. Why not? And the third question that I'm typically asked is, what should I study in college? And we're going to answer a few of those questions today. I might not dive deep into what should be studied, but yeah, let's go over how that conversation went with my mom. African parent who is either doctor or lawyer, if you grew up in any of those type of households. Can you imagine that type of conversation? So growing up, typically no one really speaks about college or their expectations for college or what they're planning on doing with college. Typically, your friend group or the people that you're around, they either know absolutely nothing about what they want to study or they're just keeping it to themselves on the low. You don't even know what they're going to school for. You just know that they're in school. And a lot of the times they're either being guided by others or they just already knew that direction in which they wanted to get into. This is a dog eat dog world. And a lot of the times you'll find that no one is going to hold your hand, tell you what to study, tell you what credits or certifications that you need in order to be a successful individual. So you go through life, you grow up, you go through high school. Not one teacher, not one professor, no one is trying to educate you on what college is and what you should be looking to do and what makes money and what doesn't, so that you can be a successful individual in life. And honestly, I think it's a failure. It's a failure to children. It's a failure to everyone. I don't want to give school a bad rep, but they don't teach you nothing about finance. And they don't even teach you anything about education. Like what should you study in college? At least you should offer that type of information. But that conversation with my mom, I have a loving mother. And because of that, she wants to look out for me. She wants to ensure that I'm in the best position to be financially successful. And because of that, she wants to ensure that I don't struggle. So because she wants to ensure that I don't struggle, she made sure that all of her children went to college, which was the biggest blessing that she could have done for us, keeping us out of the streets and ensuring that we at least focused on our education. That doesn't mean that she's going to pay our way through school. I had to work, and I had to work a lot. Did I get assistance from my mom? Absolutely. But expecting her to pay my way through college was not an option for me. And I'm super grateful for my hard work and hard work ethic. But seeing her work hard and her work ethic made me more so not want to reach out to her for any financial assistance in any way, shape, or form, because I understand that she had to work hard for that money, and I'm not just going to ask and receive like a little baby. I'm a grown 19-year-old, okay? And so because of that, I just had a different integrity. I had a different accountability to myself, and I just knew that I was going to have to do things on my own. Now, in that regard, I was playing football. I was on scholarship for my first year. And after getting injured, I decided that I was going to focus more on the academic side. So I switched from a business major to a biology major. I transferred from one school to another and then to another school finally. And the way I transferred was because, one, I wanted to go to a more community college, which would be cheaper for me. In fact, I didn't pay nothing in community college. But then when I transferred to a bigger school, I had to, all my savings essentially went to that bigger school. And then on my last year, I had to work very aggressively in order to not graduate with debt. So I was able to graduate debt free. I was able to focus on my classes for that final and last semester. But it didn't come without stress. It didn't come without struggle, and it didn't come without a lot of hard work. Because of this, I knew that I would graduate with a bachelor's in biology with a minor in business and English. And I had to now decide whether or not I was going to let all that hard work be turned into a medical degree, a pharmaceutical degree, or if I was going to get to work and make some money. I didn't know how much I could make with a biology degree. There was some job offering only $18.75 an hour. And back then in New York, minimum wage was about, I think, $15 an hour or $13 an hour, and you could potentially make more than that in most places. And when I got back to New York, I was making $17.30 as a assistant manager of a Blaze Pizza, just waiting for, because I was leaving Albany, New York for New York. So I had to wait for an opportunity to call me. And obviously I'm not applying for jobs while in school, which everyone should do. But when Amazon did eventually call, I was just on an essential waiting list to get picked up. So that was really my first career job, making $50,000 with $50,000 in bonuses, plus raises and things like that, and all that whatsoever. So when my mom finally got an idea of what I was going to make at Amazon, when we were sitting down having a conversation on why I'm not going back to school, I think that really lightened the mood and let her know that, okay, my son is going to be okay. Most migrated parents or immigrants tend to make minimum wage, which is roughly around 28 to 35,000 a year. And to see someone fresh out of college probably making 50,000 plus bonuses, that was something that she probably didn't expect of a 21, 22-year-old. Now, obviously, that was before the crazy inflation and everything else, but over time, I just knew that I wanted to make more money than a doctor. And in order to do that, I needed to invest. I needed to apply myself more into simply investing, because $50,000 is not going to get me $200,000 a year. And so when I realized that the stock market was giving me 28% returns, I really dove deeply into that. But when I saw that I could make tremendously more in real estate, I had to shift my focus, because I was seeing 10x. So that means if I was making $2,000 a month in the stock market, I could make $20,000 in real estate. And I had to shift my focus because I saw the money. I saw other people making the money. And I said I had to go ahead and do this myself. And I did. It took me a year before I invested in my first property. I looked at several different properties, probably over 100 properties, and still feel sorry when I'm saying it, but I really called my agent every single time to show me every single property. We would look at 3 to 4 properties every single day. I mean, the amount of gas that he must have spent to drive me to all these properties is insane. But it was right around this time of year, right around Christmas, when I finally knew he was about to go on vacation. I mean, the next day he was going on vacation, going on a flight out the country with his wife. And I was just so motivated to look at 2 more properties before he would go on vacation. And so we looked at a duplex that my uncle had wanted me to look at. And then we looked at a single family house that I was interested in. And we ended up going with the single family house because it just got relisted on the market, whereas the duplex was getting multiple offers. And I did not want to haggle with the entire world because it was bidding wars, and we all know about bidding wars by now. And so that was a great first true investment. When I got into the Army, I was thinking long term, being an LPN and also maybe even getting a pension or bonuses with the Army. But I ended up eventually leaving the Army earlier than expected and buying a second property. This property I would not necessarily consider an investment because I'm living in it. However, it does offset the cost of rent, which I'm definitely okay with. Understanding my timeline, I'm super excited about that because I understand that if I was still in school, which I would be, I would not have 2 properties and over $500,000 in assets. Because of this allows me to look at my life big picture, as in what can I do now to continue to be successful, right? If you're making $50,000 a year, $70,000, maybe even $100,000 a year, and you know that the timeline to be a doctor would take about 6 years, 4 years of studying, 2 years of residency before you actually start making the big bucks. How can you channel those 6 years to be more successful, more productive, more of everything that you want to be? Right now, I can actually go to medical school and pay for it without any debt because I just have the net worth, I have the capital. I don't have to look for a handout. I don't have to look for money. I can literally pay off all my loans if I decided to take any out. That's a lifestyle that I couldn't have even dreamed of. So can you imagine like a 26-year-old just being able to now say, oh, $200,000 for student loans? Oh yeah, I can pay that off right now. Whereas a doctor would be struggling with that for over 20 years. The average doctor, it takes 20 years to pay that off. And so financially, I absolutely made the right decision. My net worth is continuing to grow year over year. My investments continue to grow year over year. I have several investments, not only in real estate, but in the stock market, in the bond market, in Series I bonds as well. And I'm growing businesses like my YouTube channel, like my music channel. And I just appreciate everything, all the hard work that I put in and all the growth that continues to happen. So was it a tough conversation? I wouldn't say it was a tough conversation because once she understood the numbers, she knew that I was going to be okay. But now when she saw the investments that I was making, the strides that I was making, now my mom comes to me for investment advice. Now she comes to me to put her money to work and make things happen for her. And I'm just appreciative that, one, she trusts me with these type of things, and that she believed in me to go ahead and make it. But of course, she needed to see the results. She needed to see the outcome that I was going to have. And I'm 100% sure she's proud of me now. So if you like this video, make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe. You know I post every single day at 8 a.m. daily on YouTube and on Rumble. And I can't wait to see you on the next one. Peace.